Welcome to Planet Pluto.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Whoop, whoop. Tango, tango, tango. Hey, hey. What's happening, good people? Y'all know who it is, right? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha, right? A.K.A. Key Lolo, coming to you live and direct. Y'all know where I'm coming from, right? Let me just keep on bragging. Cleveland, Ohio, where we getting ready for the No Kings Parade. Ooh, ooh. No King. Ooh, ooh. No King. Y'all ready for the No Kings Parade? Come on now, come on now, come on now. I know y'all are. Because sure, y'all got a No Kings Parade going on in San Diego too. Who? No Kings Parade. Hold on. Y'all don't see y'all. We no are officially no king. We not having no king. I know Run DMC.
Yeah.
Run DMC used to be down with the king. They still are down with the Kings, but they're not feeling number 45 because this we are 85 episodes in, and oh boy, we got some goodness for y'all tonight. Now this is where Planet Pluto Pseudo delivers. Okay, now we're gonna get back to the No Kings Parade, but I just had to, I had to get it started. I had to get it started. What's up, LB? If Sir Pooh ate my bologna sandwich, it's gonna be some issues up here in the beauty industry in Cleveland. So I hope Sir Pooh did not eat.
I hope he didn't either.
Because Sir Pooh, like, I don't even eat blood. I can see him now. I don't even eat, girl. That's for you ghetto girl. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, so we are 85 episodes in, and boy, I'm telling you now, again, this is Planet Pluto Pseudo. Now, if you are new, sorry, my ear, it's just, why does your ear itch at like the most inopportune time? Like, whose idea was it for your ears to itch? But anywho, in case you're wondering, exactly what is Planet Pluto Pseudo? Where is Planet Pluto Pseudo? Planet Pluto Pseudo is
in your
right
mind.
Here. It's in your mind, but it's right here on YouTube. It's like coming, you think about it, and then we just like the cooperative components. I stole that from Abraham Hicks. It just got you here. And so Planet Pluto Pseudo is a platform for beauty and barber professionals in the industry. And our primary goal is, number one, to debunk all of the bullfragger paggernackle that has somehow seeped its way into our industry. And maybe you find yourself regurgitating it, or maybe you're complacent, where you just complicit. I'm sorry. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing. You better say something about this stupid. Calm down. And then also we want to share some resources so you guys can know what's happening in the industry, where to go, who's who, what's what. And so tonight we have director. That's what a real live. Now this ain't my cousin named Pookie out here perpetrating. Y'all know me some perpetrators out here, okay? No, this is a real live director. Her name is Vera Howard, and she is the founder of Arev Studios. I'm sorry, it's these braces. I'm sorry. I know how to say it, okay? Arev Studios, LLC. And so she's going to help us in the beauty industry understand the film industry. Now, again, the platform is for people in the industry. And then we have some aficionados like my boss. Look at that. There go my boss. Boss, I've been eating real good, boss. I've been eating. My boss bought me some tender victuals, so I wouldn't be eating potato chips and junk. So she bought me some walnuts, but I ate almost the whole bag. No, she's like, did you eat that whole bag? Yes, Lavinia.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like walnuts. I do.
They're good for your brain. Remember Dr. Joy said
Dr.
that's why they're
Joy.
shaped like
Dr.
the
Joy.
human
Dr.
brain.
Joy. Yes,
Very
yes, yes.
good for the brain.
So thank you, boss. I need some more, these nuts. She don't know what that is. That's the funny part. She like, what? What are you talking about, Ladosha? She has an accent. It's way better than that. She's like, stop it, Ladosha. I'm sorry. But you can also check her out on our little commercial. Maybe I'll see if I can find it. We have our Juneteenth celebration because I've been in business for 25 years. And I'm like, have I really been in business for 25 years? I can't even believe, like, oh my goodness gracious.
I know.
But anywho.
Size.
Yeah, 25 years. But we ain't here to talk about me, okay? That ain't what this podcast is about, okay? Everybody like, whatever, Kilolo. But what we are here to talk about is this young lady. Here she is right here. Her name, again, is Vera Howard. She's a filmmaker, a producer, an actress, all types of cool stuff. So we're going to be bringing her in momentarily. So get ready for some goodness. And it's really important that we talk about alternatives to working behind the chair and how to broaden your scope. Maybe you want to be like Kilolo and stay behind the chair. Where my poster at? Hold on. Y'all think I'll be there. It is. I got my little poster. Cheryl made me do that. I did not want to do that documentary. But again, Vera is going to help us out with that a little bit more because this is our theme for the month of June, and it's the beauty and barber industry in film. And that's me and Cheryl. When I first met Cheryl, I was all excited. Like, all the way right. No, but that's real talk. That was the day right there.
That was so fun.
Yeah, that was a day. In case you are not aware, for real, we do have a No Kings Parade that's happening here Saturday in Cleveland, Ohio. It's a nationwide day of defiance. Now, don't y'all go get arrested, okay? And if you're in San Diego, guess what? They doing it too, okay? We the people in San Diego. No Kings. They say no Kings in San Diego. It's not going down. And you can probably go on social media and find out a whole lot more about them. Also, we talked about resources. Just came in hot off the email. Sacred, Bay Good, okay? She actually has a grant that's due tomorrow. Now, I just got it because you guys know we would have never done this. But if you're a good grant writer, by all means, I'm going to go ahead on and drop it in the chat. She's not asking for much. She just you got to prove that you are in business. She does want to see that you have some type of a business lease or something, and she wants you to share like your hardship. It's 10 G's, y'all, 10 G's. And I looked it over. I ain't gonna lie. Yep. I'm gonna sit up tonight and I'm gonna write it. Now, I click that link and let me put a star on it. It's not too late. Tomorrow, you got a full 24 hours. So if you planned on going out to party or something tomorrow night and you're in the industry, don't do it. Write the grant. Now, we talk about Beyonce's product. We said the hype wasn't good, but the products are okay. And Beyonce is doing her part, she and her mom. Absolutely. And so it's a legitimate, this is not a joke. I looked it over, so she wants to hear your story. You have to have been in business for at least 1 year. Please, y'all, have a cosmetology license and a barber license, your makeup. Don't be applying for the grant when you come on now. Don't embarrass us like that. So make sure you're legit, okay? Please be legit. This money is coming out of her own pocket. This is not government grant.
This is some good stuff.
And we always say, yeah, Black people, we don't never do nothing. Now, see, here it is. There's Bay. Oh, sorry, wrong hand. There's Bay right there saying salon and barbershop business grants. It's nationwide. You do not have to be from H-Town. I'm just kidding, okay? So there is the link right here, okay? So click it and go on to it. And it's not, you don't have to be, a real hardcore grant writer. She ain't asking for nothing crazy like that. I'm gonna go ahead and take a stab at it. It ain't nothing between you and me but space and opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Sure.
You got that right.
All right, so make sure you guys hit that link, okay? Before we bring in the director, Miss Vera we're about to bring her in, and we want to thank you guys so much. We're firing on all cylinders. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, LinkedIn. I decided to do LinkedIn instead of Twitch today because LinkedIn is a business platform, and the content and the information that Miss Howard is going to be sharing with us, I think the professionals over on LinkedIn will truly appreciate Miss Director Vera Howard's advice. And then of course over on Instagram, which it says it's on, but I still can't see it. I'm gonna have to try to go live on Instagram afterwards to see exactly what am I doing wrong here, but it does says it's on. Okay. Then last but not least, Cheryl, my home girl, Miss Bridget, she is over in your neck of the woods, and she says you have to be from California to understand this. Do you know what that is?
You gotta be from California.
You got to be from San Diego
to understand this.
Cheryl, like, I don't know what that is.
There's two. It's roll tacos versus street tacos.
Okay, so it is a California thing.
Right. But I think she's talking about that white sauce. What's going on with that white sauce? We don't do white sauce.
Okay, what she say?
You got
okay, you got to be from San Diego, but it falls in the taco family. Okay, I was wondering what is that. Okay, but now that you said it, I see it. I didn't see taco at all.
Yeah, those are tacos to the left.
Okay, all right. If you're from San Diego, we probably do. We should keep this going. The Mr. Taco Shop Snack. Oh, we got some San Diegans in the chat. Okay, well. You know what, sure, this would be a fun game that we should do. Put stuff up, you from this city win. All right. Yeah, this will probably be fun. Okay, Bridget. So some San Diegans, they know exactly what that is. I was like, I don't know what that is. Okay, but she says you gotta be from San Diego to understand this. All right. Okay, thanks, Theo. All right, sure. Okay. All right. So are you guys ready to learn about filmmaking secrets? Are you excited? You want to know how you can use this to, broaden your scope of professionalism in the barber and beauty industry? Then you know how we do it when we welcome people here on Planet Pluto Pseudo. Look at Cheryl. Come on. Put your hands together. All right. Put your right hand, your left hand. I'm going to get the little sound clap things going on here, and I want you guys to get ready. Put the hand clap emojis in the chat, and I am going to bring in the one, the only, my dear friend, my beautiful friend, who I have a lot of admiration, Miss Director Vera Howard. Here we go, Director Vera Howard. There she is. Hey. Oh, she representing.
Merch on the way.
All right, she representing the studio, so she for real. There she is, right there. Thank you so much, Miss Vera. You know how much I appreciate you.
Yes, thanks.
No, we're excited to have you. You look absolutely beautiful. The chat is looking pretty good, and so now have your questions ready. She's here. I do her hair. I've been, sure, I get these. They start off a little children. I'm sorry, Vera. I ain't want to put our business out there like that. But I remember when Vera had baby dolls, and now
how long?
That's that long.
Since I was 11.
This is what this industry will do for you. I'm telling you guys. There is no career in the world that is just as cool as a cosmetologist, unless you're in films, because then you'll see something from a total different perspective, no pun intended. So, Miss Vera, I have your, you sent me a beautiful, let me just pull it up right here, a beautiful, there we go, bio. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shoot off the bio. And of course, we we don't get the full Monty. It's just the little written part. So of course we want you to go in a little bit deeper into how you got into film and things of that nature. And of course we're gonna, be asking you how people in our industry. I know I did a documentary, and good Lord have mercy. Y'all know I'm gonna say, take y'all, excuse me, Vera, cover your ears up. Take y'all ass to school. Okay. But no, there are some things that you can do, and Vera's gonna help you out with that. But I took a stab at it, and it's not for the faint at heart. And so tonight we're gonna go a little bit more into details, because I personally, all jokes aside, I think that if you have a passion for this, then you want to listen in to what Vera has to say, whether you're a cosmetologist or a barber or a nail tech or a makeup artist. This is going to be some wonderful advice she's going to offer. So get your questions ready. But let me just kind of go over what she shared with me in her brief bio, that she discovered her love for filmmaking in a digital production class while she was in high school. So I just told y'all, take your to school. I know the number 45 is saying no, you need to go to school, okay? And so she says, with boundless energy and a probing curiosity, she was drawn to the science and technique of committing image to film. That's very powerful. I didn't know there was a science.
Yes.
Did you see those fingers? She said, yes, stay in your lane. She says science and the technique. All right, there's a technique of committing image to film. She has made 10 films. Did y'all hear what I said? 10. So we got 10 people in the chat. We need 10 thumbs up, and we're almost close to 3,000 subscribers. And I believe that we truly are America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. You're not going to get this type of content anyplace else. So we truly appreciate your support. You've helped us reach over 400,000 views. We've had over 15,000 uploads. So you guys are definitely appreciating the content. And we've done all of this with no Google. We don't pay for any ads. So we truly love you guys for supporting us from the bottom of your heart, okay? Arev Studios is located in Glenville neighborhood, all right? That's a very historic location here in Cleveland, all right? In short order, she's made a name for herself creating innovative film products using green screen technology. I don't know anything about that, a little bit, but she's going to go more into that type of filmmaking language. Don't be trying to perpetrate, you know what I'm saying? Green screen technology, and also shooting numerous music videos. I have been to some film things here in Cleveland, and Vera is the it girl. You know, people do know who she is. And so this is not a joke. She's the real deal, Holyfield. But despite her wide portfolio of digital content creation, it is her role as a director that she cherishes the most. And as we get to know her, I do have her Arev Studios. She is right here on YouTube, by the way, and also on Instagram, and I'll put that up. So I have that in queue. So when the time comes, I will show a little snippet of what she has to offer. So without further ado, Vera, let's take it away. Let's get a little bit into why film for you, a little bit more why, and as a female especially, we got to throw in woman of color, because it's different. I'm talking about me. I ain't talking about nobody else. For a Black woman trying to do that film, thank you, girl. Sure need to be nodding her head too. It's different for Black women, and I'm not a filmmaker, not like Vera. So Vera, why film? And then give us some insight from a filmmaker, from a woman of color, a Black woman in particular perspective.
Shoot.
Yes. So I chose film. It honestly grew on me starting in elementary school. I used to act in stage plays. So from there, I decided to write my own content. And then I thought about I needed someone to film this content so it can be recorded. And I just naturally fell into film production, both in front and behind the camera. Right now, behind the camera, there is more control that area in that aspect. So that's where I'm really leaning towards as director. and honing in on my craft. And as a Black woman in film, it's really important to shape a narrative for ourselves. The narratives that are out there mainly can be better, in my opinion. And throughout history, we can see, facts trying to be erased today that we still have to keep today. And for the future, it's very important. So as a Black woman, I really would like to present a more uplifting and positive narrative when it comes to Black women. So that's
Now,
all in.
and sure, I want you to just kind of add a little bit to what I'm about to say. Now, I don't mean no harm. I truly, but y'all know Key Lola. I can't help myself. I just can't help myself. So, because your statement about you want to see some more positive stuff, right? But you know what they say, sex sells, right? That it's got to be salacious. So let's take the movie that they did with Madam C.J. Walker, On Her Own. Was that the name of it? On Her Own or something? Self-Made or something like that. I'll look it up. And they did something to her life that I just didn't think they had to do that. And I couldn't figure out what it was. And Cheryl was the one who pointed out that the Madam C.J. Walker, Annie Turbo Malone story was already good, and they didn't need to do that. So, Cheryl, can you talk about, add to what she said about good can sell? And then, Vera, can you give us some examples of some stories of some Black women that you think could? It's good to know. You don't have to, and I'm not knocking sex that sells. I know that's part of y'all industry, but I'm just, I'm trying to be all conservative. So, Cheryl, add a little bit more to that example, and I'll get the correct name while you're talking about it.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Behind the camera is where that begins. And I think it's more about the story that gets the budget, right? Is the story that gets the money that is more out of our control. And I, so, or what, and now that in the days of streaming and there are more independent networks, those hurdles are not that high now. And so I think that we can begin to tell, I mean, and shoot good documentaries that don't necessarily, you're expecting big budgets, but you can put good content out there that's watchable and people are interested in it. Maybe probably what do they call it? There's niches and riches, and so you can, kind of seek out those smaller demographics until you hone your craft really, really, really great, and you can go after, the $10 million budget. But we should not expect any story about our lives to have the commercialism. We should not be trying to reach commercialism.
Mm-hmm.
It should just not be our first goal. Our first goal should be to teach.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To teach. And I think that and there is no excuse for this particular film because they had enough budget, they had enough time, and I agree with the director in terms of it doesn't make a difference if you got a big budget or a small budget. They had the budget to do this one correctly, and they steal the core of the story because they were wanting to. I don't know what they were doing, to be honest with you, with this film. There was big money. It was LeBron James' money. They had big money behind it. They still did not, kind of tap in to precision and a critical analysis of that story.
So, Vera, since you came out the gate so strong with telling stories, now this platform is particularly, geared towards professionals. But when we look at the self-made, it was like a series or something like that, mini series,
like cards maybe.
Yeah. And so I did read why they said they changed it. And they were saying that because the younger people, like she said, what you say, the niches is in the riches, that they were they wanted to appeal to the younger people. So they had to kind of embellish that a little bit. So when you give your examples of some stories that you, of some women, Black women that you think could be good in film, can you speak to, are they kind of saying like young people can't handle like good, good, I don't know what whatever language that is. Can you speak to that? Is that something that you can't do it if you tell the truth? It's got to be salacious.
Well, a lot of people do believe that showing skin is for the win, and although it does a lot of attention and get a lot of attention, what's important is the message overall. And as long as the message is conveyed, then that's the importance of the actual film production itself. So I would say, like our favorite actresses, Halle Berry, Kerry Washington, and even Taraji P. Henson, all of our favorites that we love. I feel as if we can see them in a movie where they're skinned, but then still have respect for the message that they have in the film at the same time, versus mainly no skin, all message that can also be not as intriguing to the audience. Excuse me. So I understand when the Post wanted to what's the word? Appeal to the younger audience members, because majority of the younger people are streaming and watching these films, or at least playing them to stream for views. So they at least wanted that attraction to be there first, because the narrative is a lot that skin is for the win and pretty sells. So I believe going into trying to make a message piece with the attraction that is, known, is usually the tactic here in the film industry. So my goal is to kind of switch it up a bit. Maybe not have skin be the win in all of our movies, or let that not be the number one attraction to the movie. Actually want to know the message that we're trying to portray, and actually listen to the words that we're saying and how we're saying it in those visuals.
Okay. Now, if you could do a film about a Black woman, is there one woman that you have in mind, or maybe that we don't know? You say, I think this person, because like we said, right now, there is, I think the bill did pass the House, that big ugly bill. I think it did pass, right? And so that means schools are not going to be able to really teach history like they could. So is there a woman figure you think like this would be a great on film? Because film is a great way to get the information out. So is there someone that you would like to write about?
Yes, indeed. And I definitely have to do my homework on this before it goes away. I learned during my Cincinnati trip to one of our historical museums down there that there was a woman who had cosplayed as a white man and had her husband be her slave, and they traveled across where they needed to their freedom. And that is an amazing story about love, about the trustmanship, and then basically the times of that era. And I really feel like something like that is important, because a lot of us newcomers who may not be exposed to the history of, love back then, and the trials and tribulations of those times, and what all people really went through outside of just, the hard laborings of slavery in itself. There was love and concrement in those times. So I feel like it's very important to show and share that story. So I definitely need to do my research ASAP and get on a story like that to actually show that there was love and commitment, even all the way back then, that still need to carry on in the Black traditions today.
Wow. One of the things that I say, and then sure, I want you to add to, we got some videos that we're going to play, get your questions ready to move our conversation along. But one of the things that I encourage, because I'm more of a writer than I am a filmmaker, but I do I've truly enjoyed creating that documentary, but that is a talent that is not for the faint at heart. But one of the things that I will recommend, and sure, you can comment, and Vera, you can comment as well. when I was out, promoting my book and selling my book, I always have it right here. I just love my little book. Okay. What they don't tell you at the hair salon. One of the things that my brother was with me is that there are not a lot of Black people who are really doing this stuff. And I know y'all think it is, but remember, this is global, not local. And I think it's so important. So when someone says, I want to write a book or do a film, I say, do it for the reasons that Vera just said. She's going to expound on it a little bit more. But Cheryl, I just want your take on encouraging people to do it and why it's important for us to create our stories either in print, but tonight it's about film. So can you speak to that, the importance? And then Vera, can you add some words of encouragement? Because when you're a barber, a cosmetologist, a nail tech, like people were dogging me out. Like I was calling Cheryl, like, I don't know if I can do it because they was calling me out. No, people like, girl, you ain't no, So kind of talk about that. And then Vera, you come through right after Cheryl. They was.
Yeah, they were and I don't know if they were trying to discourage you. It's just that to expand when you are so used to just showing up, or when you do show up, we have this mentality that we are just to show up, get the job, be in the position, work the system, just show up, be in the number, and mark yourself present. But to imagine, to dream, and to go into even fantasy and they call it Afrofuturistic types of endeavors. I believe that it's not that it's unnatural for us. I think that what is unnatural is the time and space and capacity to dream.
Okay.
While trying to not always appeal to the survival instinct of us collective. And we do that well. But filmmaking requires, and writing, poetry, no matter what type, and documentaries, and it's discipline, because you got to do research and you got to dig, and you do have to have that capacity, but it also demands for you to tap into your imagination. And I understand that all of us, and most of us are trying to feed the family, trying to dot the I's and cross the T's in our lives. But for those who want to say, maybe I'll slow down in my career a little bit and I will devote more time to the creative part of my spirit. You know what I mean? And in that. And it's, we just need encouragement from each other to
do it.
Out. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, you can do it. Okay. Vera, add on to someone out there who's like, I don't know, I'm just a nail tech. I mean, I'm, add on to that. And then we got some clips.
Apply yourself. You never know where you can get in and fit in on a film set. There are 1,000 jobs on one film set. All notice the credits at the end of a movie. Those are all jobs. Yes, jobs. Yeah, minutes worth of jobs. So pay attention next time you watch a movie. Look at those many jobs, and they're all very similar. If you're a stylist, a creator, you can be in the creative and arts department. That can fall under hair, makeup, special effects makeup, anything, wardrobe, the styling. All goes hand in hand when it comes to the look and the beauty to present what you want to present in a film production. So always apply yourself. There is no job that is too small on a film set. What did they say? It takes a village to raise a baby. It takes a village to create a film.
You better, y'all come on now. Y'all better hit that thumbs up button. As a matter of fact, VK is in the chat. That is definitely worthy of telling them what they got to do right now. She just gave y'all some huggy lowdown. Do this right here to help change the narrative about filmmaking secrets for beginners, especially if you're a nail tech, a barber, a cosmetologist, or a makeup artist. Show them what they got to do right now. Here we go, y'all. All right, we got some folks in the building. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up button, or else WeK is gonna tickle y'all. We are here with director Vera Howard. She is the founder, the creator, the owner of Arev Studios LLC. You can find her right here on YouTube. She's also on Instagram, and you can get some little snippets of what she has to offer. But let me show. I have some videos in queue over here. So this one is from Justin. I hope I'm saying his name right, Simeon, and he is the creator of Dear White People. Now I haven't seen it, but I love the whole thing because I say Dear Black People. I mean, he's got my and so I'm gonna play a clip of how he did what he did, and then you can take it away. It just kind of adds on to your comment about there's no job too small in the industry. So if you are working behind the chair and you just really want to do something, Vera is saying you can do it. So let's hear what he has to say.
I had to go to social media. I didn't know how to get a movie made. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any connections. I didn't have any mentors. I didn't have any of those things. I took this approach where like, okay, I am going to refine the script using social media. So I started the Twitter account Dear White People. The character Sam White, I wanted to see how people would respond to her. Naturally, white people were in their feelings when they saw Dear White People tweet. Black people thought it was hilarious. Of course, they were like, you know, racism doesn't exist / go back to Africa monkey. The dichotomy was wild. And I was able to actually incorporate people's responses to the Dear White People isms of Sam White into the screenplay. And in a lot of ways, it actually informed what happens in the plot of Dear White People. More pertinent to actually getting the movie made, it started to build an audience. And I'm sitting here working on my script and tossing a few bones out to Twitter to see what people were going to say, but it was building my audience. Things started to really pick up, and there was like a real momentum. When the script got to a place where I felt like they're saying the things that I want people to say when they see the movie, I had all these workshops. Lena Waithe and I, we were kind of notorious for this. We would get our actor friends together. I mean, all of us were unemployed, honey. So the screenplay was getting to a cute place. And again, everyone had said no. So then I kind of just did the next logical step. I made a YouTube trailer.
Yeah.
All right. So I ain't got no money. I'm not the smartest. I got an idea. Take it away, Vera. What can they do when they like, now I know they're not gonna make it like Justin did with Dear White People, but hey, you never know. So give them some advice when they're like him, like I did not know. My friends, we were all unemployed. So
right. Yeah, small budget films or no budget films still happen. They still happen. It starts with an idea. So as long as you're passionate about your idea, it'll come together. What do they say? If you build it, they will come. So I'm definitely a strong believer in that. My first budget film was actually my latest project, Money Shower, that I filmed as my student project at CSU. And our budget was $800. We got at least $750. So that was pretty nice. Almost hit the goal. So next time I will hit the goal. And even budget or not, my goal is to always make my movies, no matter what, from scratch, because sometimes those are really the best films. They come off as very authentic and from the soul and from the heart. And honestly, that in itself can also push what you're trying to pull and show in your films.
So when you say like give it your all and from your heart, and what is it that you think people are most like, especially in our industry where people might feel like I'm not Vera, I can't. What are some of the behaviors or talking points that you hear people say, or excuses of why they can't? I'm not trying to be mean, y'all. We're just trying to get us some help. That they can't do it, that you would say, no. So let's help our people in real time with that negative talk or that you've heard, and
Yes, it's all about networking. It's all about networking and who you know. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. And that's how you're able to get those resources and what you need. A lot of times I hear I couldn't get a set. Well, I know somebody who has this kind of setting that you're looking for, that kind of setting that you're looking for. I couldn't find the actors. There are a lot of people who want to act, may want to act, or just want to stand there and look pretty. That's how usually I approach the non-actors and then turn them into actors.
Oh.
You really have to dig deep and know what you want. And then there are ways that you'll find a way to go after it. You just have to really break it down and think about what all do you need, what all can you use with or without, and then really go from there. But it's all about who you know, networking. Put yourself out there, meet like-minded individuals. They will help you a lot. Sometimes those people will almost take over and you sit back and watch. You ask for one favor, they do 10.
Oh, wow. That was now, and again, sir, I ain't trying to, but fair enough from the hood, right? Okay, but y'all directors, y'all so weird. And now you're saying that you got to be a Cheryl, them directors. They just got something. And they don't seem like they're people.
What are they
directors? They don't seem like they're people, but you're saying they have to be people. Cheryl, you're into film, so talk about being a people person. And then Vera, we got a next clip that I think you're gonna love this person. So Cheryl, add to her comment about because directors they just seem like they're so,
I can say I am not the directing type only because I don't have the patience. But I can say the executive producing part is more my thing, and making sure that it stays within budget, has more budget. Go find someone who's gonna be interested in supporting the film like that. And as you know, let's say next week we're going to talk about documentaries. What do you got? Let me just ask a question. What about memoirs? Do you find them easier? Vera, do you find them easier to do or harder?
It almost, I feel as if it really depends on the story. Honestly, no. With everything, it really depends on the story in itself and how deep you want to dive into it and how you want to tell it. And then also audiences can see a whole different story too with your creation. So it's really good to, it's going to sound kind of lame, but like do the best you can. Do the best you can. You never know what could come out of it.
Okay, all right. Well, I know y'all think Vera, I had this all queued up, but I'm kind of good at this podcasting thing. It just so happens that the next clip I'm going to show is of someone who I really admire, who's pretty much saying the same thing, but we got to expound on that a little bit more. And I have some more questions for you. And then afterwards, we're going to show a little clip of what you have over on your YouTube channel. So this one, I think we all know who this woman is. So let's hear what she has to say about what Vera had to say about work what your mama gave you. Here it is, guys.
Sundance, I was there with people who were 10 years, 15 years younger than I was. But I knew what I knew. I was a grown-up. I'd had some experience under my belt. I'd had a whole job and a whole career and a whole kind of losses and loves and all that had happened to me. And although I didn't go to film school, I had lived life. And I counted that as coursework. And I counted that as something that I had that they didn't have. And so as opposed to, instead of looking at what I didn't have, and even now looking at what I don't have, lamenting the fact that I don't have the budget that Chris Nolan had for Oppenheimer. No one's ever going to give me that. It's just never going to happen. What do? Not make movies? No, I'm going to go make it how I have to, and it's still going to be in the world. So I think it's just about changing my perspective, and early on I was able to do that and not exist from a place of lack or absence, but to look at what I've got and just do it.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Who does not love Miss Ava DuVernay? I'm gonna tell you, when she did her movie, what was it, 13 or something like that? That's when I was on Twitter, but y'all know, let's give it up for my home group. And they did not like the scene where she had them coming in on a slave, like they were on shackles, and then she morphed right into the NFL. Oh boy, they did not like that. And so I wrote on Twitter how that was just awesome. And she responded, y'all know I just act like Michael Jackson just touched my hand. But anywho, so what do you say about the people who are like, I'm too old? Because that's what that clip was about. She started when she was 32. Like I entered the cosmetology industry when I was much older as well. I mean, the average person is like, I was like in my 30s too. So what are you saying to people who feel like I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too fat, I'm too black, and I'm too broke? And then let's go over some terms like what is an executive director, executive producer. Let's kind of help them with some of that language, because everybody's a super producer, you know.
They
Okay,
are.
so what about when I'm too old, too fat, too black, too young, too poor, too rich?
Well,
Oh shit.
art is so wide. Art can be with the old, the young, the fat, the skinny, the tall, the light, the dark, the this speaking language, the that speaking language. All of that is art in itself. So really put yourself on, because you can speak to those people in the audience and you never know who else can reach that. You know, this person may have once been the fat one or the skinny one or the dark one or the light one or anything. So you never know what could reach someone at what time. So put it out there. Put it out there right now, because it could definitely reach that person in the right time where they can hear it. And then now they can take what they just learned from you, apply it to themselves, and create another story to be passed on to the next individual to do the same thing and apply their selves.
Yeah.
Now let's get through some terminology, because we got some people in here. Like I was all online. I was like, "What's an executive? What's what's a producer?" And so, give us some terms that people can know. Like, this is what that person's role is, what they do. Like the difference between a director and a producer and an executive. So help us with some of that language, because I was just kind of confused about all of this terminology or lexicon or whatever.
A lot of these technical terms are almost the same thing, just slightly different. So when it comes to executive producers, they're the head honchos with the millions, and you leave them alone unless there's like an emergency. So you know this phrase, we don't want to call the execs in, or do we? So they're the head honchos that rain down the money to create your project. The the producers are the ones to put it all together. No, we're producers of our parents. They produced us, they created us. So they are in charge of making sure that this film production gets created. Directors, they work hand in hand with the writers in order to create the visual story that they want to tell. So the writers, the producers, and the directors are the three amigos when it comes to film productions on set.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. So, does you want to add anything to that? Because I'm going to show some of your stuff next. So, does you want to add anything so people can understand? Because I mean, people will say stuff like, I'm a director and I'm a producer. I'm all of it, and I'm like, really now? So, can one person be the executive director, producer, executive producer? Can one person do all of that, or is it best to have it all like delineated per person?
Have you seen any Tyler Perry production? Yes, indeed. You can be everything under.
Tyler just happens to be an anomaly. He is definitely the exception.
And the reason why I asked that question, I went to go see Mission Impossible. Please go see that movie. And I just kept seeing Tom Cruise. I said, Tom did everything. I did not, because I don't necessarily, I'm guilty. I don't really read all the credits. So I innocently, I did not know even Tyler Perry could do all of that. So, okay.
Yeah. It can be done. Those are exceptions.
So I'm not the only one, because Frida's in the chat like, oh, okay. See, we didn't know. And so in our industry, if you want to do all of that, you can, but she just said you got to have all your ducks in a row. So let me just, I'm going to show a little bit of your work right now. And then we're going to make sure if you have any questions. Oh, snap. Here is our little de facto producer, co-producer.
Hi.
There she is, Esther T. Jones. She is the reason why you're here. Look at the hair. I see you. Okay, no, Esther, you got the little purple. Okay, I digress. She is one of our supporters here. And before we started having people on, me and Cheryl would just be over here like going ham. And she's like, you know what, y'all good, but y'all need some talent on this platform. And to your point, you said that the viewers or the people that's going to consume your stuff, they can give you direction. So this will not be a movie, but we definitely appreciate Esther. So we always like to, give a super duper shout out. Okay. All right. So let me take this one down here. And now I am, see, this is what I need. What you call a person who assists you with this kind of stuff? What's that title? Producer.
Producer. PA.
Oh, yeah. See, I can't be I'm struggling here. I'm perpetrating, okay? So let me present. And let me go to your share screen. I'm just talking out loud so I can walk myself through it because, share screen. Sure, she should have never told me that because now I'm going to be like, I'm a producer of everything, okay? So let's see here. We got it here. I'm going to show this one here for 56 seconds on December the 10th. So guys, get ready. This is director Vera Howard. This is a little short film that we have here on her YouTube channel called Arev Studios, LLC. Here we go.
When's this money shower supposed to happen?
Well, I heard some students from Cleveland State University plan on filming Money Shower come March in 2025.
That's cool. I bet that's going to need a lot of funding, huh?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Look! It's funding for a project!
But this is prop money. We need real money for it.
You're right. And that's where you come in. By visiting our link and or scanning our QR code, you're able to make a donation. Any donation will receive a thank you in the credits, and any donation over $100 or more will receive executive producer credit. Remember, you have the power to produce Money Shower. Woo!
Money Shower, a story about greed. What would you do if money suddenly started to fall from the sky?
All right. That was pretty dope. That was pretty tight. Now, if the offer still stands, I will give you $100 so I can.
Right. We get on in the film.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Just so I know that's very egotistical. I know that's very egotistical.
Part of a wonderful project. Oh my God, it's wonderful.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I did receive an A+ on the film, so I'm very happy. Yes. Thank you.
Now let's talk about asking for money. Oops, sorry. Let's talk about asking for money and all that type of stuff. And we're going to move over to our next clip. So let's talk about that. You need money for your project. I'm a former social worker, outreach worker. I'm sorry. And I love asking people for money. But that is not something that people like doing. So remember now, in our industry, we may have people who may have some studies in film and some people who don't, and they may not be familiar. So we're not trying to be insulting. But to those people who don't know that, talk about the ask. How do you ask and why you should ask, when you should ask, who you should ask, and things of that nature.
Ask.
Yeah, so that was actually my very first time asking for money at all and for a film project. And so Cleveland State University advised us scholars to create a short clip teaser of our film to promote for our GoFundMe collection. So my idea was to kind of fit the theme of the movie, looking out of the window at the weather, having money falling down. So the film is titled Money Shower and is about money falling from the sky. So I wanted to give the people a little taste of what their money was coming into, and to really draw their attention and let them know how serious I am in creating a project for school. And it is very important to let the audience know that it is a student project, meaning very low budget. And this is where your money is coming into future scholars that want to have a long-term career in film production. You're helping us achieve our goals. And that's why it's important to do a visual teaser, give them a little something to grab their attention and really want them to put their hard-earned money into you. It's really an ask versus an ask.
Okay. Now I'm looking at your sweatshirt, and you got Arev Studios. So is that logo, is all of that, do you need that type of stuff, or can you just, use a letter, just type it up? Or so talk about your logo and things of that nature.
It's an extra. So I definitely had to get a logo and a name, LLC. Yes, indeed. The last thing I wanted was another Arev Studios out there to claim some work that should be mine. So I decided to go ahead and get my LLC, create a logo, and really become official now. So as I grow for the future, this symbol will be recognized. This name will be recognized. And that alone will help budget my projects, because I'm becoming more well known. Like, it'll stick with you. So it's important to really try to brand yourself early and then still practice your craft out there.
Now, are you working on any projects right now? Something that we should be, are you working on something, or is it, I know everything is a secret, I can't talk about it, you know?
Yes. Right now, I am planning for my senior project, which is my thesis project. It's going to be titled The Only Diner, and it's going to be a period piece taking place in the 70s. So I definitely need some stylists to style my actors for Black woman 70s looks. And that's where beauticians and barbers can definitely come into play when there's a period piece on a film set.
Wow. I'm with you, Esther. Go ahead, show what was you gonna say. That's pretty dope.
Because that is an elevated. I've worked with several stylists that did elevate into theater and film, because you would get period pieces, and sometimes they're very difficult to do. So as soon as you start going to the 50s and the 40s, but yeah, that is absolutely a great point.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to make sure that we can support you in that. Now, when you just a little bit more on asking for money. So, do you put this in writing? Are there people you shouldn't ask? Like, don't ask, or ask your uncle. You know, Ray and them. You know what I'm saying?
I would say put it out there, and whoever grabs at the attention grabs at it. I would say definitely keep people updated. Definitely give them some sneak peeks, some snippets. If you are currently filming and decide to get the budget on the tail end, show behind the scenes pictures. Show how your production is developing. Show them what the audience money is coming into, and to really help us grow, because they see that I'm very passionate, or you're very passionate about this production. So if you show them that what you're doing, the steps you're taking, and keeping them informed on the process and about the project itself, it'll really get people wanting to help out.
Wow. And see, people like to be close, to the chest. They don't want to, I don't want to tell nobody. But she's saying, you know what, guys? If you really want to do the ask, you have to reveal some of what you're doing so people can see that you're very, very serious. And I agree with you, VK, Vera Howard, you are talented as hell. And let me just add to this. Now, when I did my documentary, The Narrative, I didn't have the money and all that stuff either, but you'd be surprised. There are probably grant dollars available to do short films. That's how I was able to get some funding. So feel free, to look for those grant dollars and for communities and creatives. I don't know what the technical term is for your field, but there are some grant monies available locally in your community, depending on what you're trying to do. So definitely look out for grants to help you as well, and especially if it's something that can benefit the community. So everybody is like, you're so talented. You're just getting a whole lot of love here. So we got 2 more clips, and then we're going to be able to wrap this up. Now we're going to get a little bit more technical. And I know nobody wants to hear these, but these are some mistakes that people make when they're getting into film. Lord knows I ain't gonna go there. But anywho, because some people in the chat, Frida know I done cried on Frida. Frida probably still got some snot stains on her because I was good. Frida, so bad. Frida, like, come on, Dodo. So this one is about some mistakes that people make, particularly, it says documentary, but it could be film, it could be whatever. So I want you to add to it or just expound on some of his talking points about mistakes that people make when they want to do a documentary or short form.
If you just grab your camera, you show up to someone's house and you start filming, I guarantee you're gonna waste about 90% of your time. Trust me, I've been there, I've done it. When I first started, I thought making documentaries was just showing up with a camera and just filming whatever happens during your day. And throughout the process, eventually you'll have an edit. And I learned pretty quickly there is no faster or better way to waste time and money during the production of your documentary. So what I do now before I even touch a camera is I put the whole story down on paper. I script every single word that the characters are gonna say, ideas for action shots that they're gonna perform, every single thing as if it was a movie.
Ooh, he said as if it was a movie. Now, I'm just gonna tell the truth because y'all know. And that's what I thought. I said, I'm just gonna. And Cheryl kept saying, "You need to write." I'm like, I ain't got to do that. Hey, Cheryl, I love you. So talk about the mistakes. Do you agree with him? Do you want to add a little bit more? And now this is, it says documentary, but it could be more because in our industry, somebody may really want to make a film, but documentaries are what people love to do, or short films. So can you explain the difference between short films, documentaries, all that stuff, and then about the mistakes? So help us out. What's the difference between all these types of films?
Okay. Well, honestly, there's a lot of different varieties of documentaries. There's like the experimental, which sounded like his first go at the documentary, just show up and shoot. And then there's more of the concentrated ones that are more informational and things of that nature. And then when it comes to short film, that's more of a visual storytelling of a script. Let's see. So
What about that Ken Burns? They always talk about Ken Burns. People talk about that all the time.
He is the most prominent master, and he is the consummate documentary storyteller, and he does have a master class. And I've listened to him several times. He does he doesn't even look at a camera until the whole research on the full. And, and I know, Vera, you can really understand this. If it's your original vision to do it, right, you have to be comfortable that only you know when to stop researching. Only you know when you got the $1 million baby and you say,
yes,
okay,
that's
now it's done.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And trust your team when it comes to your vision overall. And then what I love to do, love to do, is scout my locations first, maybe have some kind of rehearsal before the day of shooting. And then before even that, when it comes to after the script is completed, I love to storyboard. Storyboarding is my favorite. That is when I draw all the scenes that I want out so I can already have a visual of what I want to see day of set or during the rehearsal, because it may not even work out during rehearsal. That's why we have these events. So day of set, everything is running as smoothly as possible, and things can still come about day of set. But if you prepare in enough time beforehand, less things can go wrong, and that makes more room for artistic growth. That you may have had a great idea at one moment, but now this moment you have a better idea, or maybe someone else comes in, gives you an idea that could work. So definitely give it time and preparation and pre-production. Pre-production is extremely important. Definitely go into it knowing what you want to do. Try it, and then go from there with fixing those little tweaks if necessary.
All right. We have a question. Who is your biggest inspiration when filmmaking, and what would be your ideal film if you had all the money?
Yes, my inspiration right now is Issa Rae. Her series Insecure was amazing. It was definitely true to the heart. It definitely spoke volumes just about relationships and love between men and women and everything. And let's see, the second part of the question was
What would your
let's see. Ideal film will be anything showing Black women in a positive light, as superheroes, as the president, as everything on top, as leaderships, and as powerful women without all the super sexiness, because women are way more than just super sexiness. We are people, we are smart. We can do this and we can do that and we can do the third. So I would like to show movies where we can do all of that in one and really get the attention of audience members and get the attention of women who may not even believe in themselves. Show them that they can do it. You look like me, I look like you. You see what I'm doing, you can do it too.
Wow, she came through. Now, until her movie comes out, go see Mission Impossible. Okay, I'm just gonna let that marinate right there. Okay, go see Mission Impossible, based off of what she said. Now I'm just gonna go. I know I don't want to keep you like forever, because we got one more clip. But I know there are people who are like, some people are like, I'm still gonna be working. I'm gonna miss it. Blah 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 blah. Can you ask her about the equipment? So I don't have a lot of money, but I want to do this. All I have is my iPhone or my Go camera or whatever. So what type of equipment can a beginner use? Anything you might recommend? I got this little blue little, mic thing, so any equipment that you think could be helpful.
For sure. Definitely cell phones, especially, iPhones are so fancy. They're almost fancier than these high-tech cameras these days. And fun fact, I'm making my web series Unletting Light strictly on my iPhone 13 Pro Max. So definitely start with anything that can record. Those GoPros can be a different angle. Use everything that you can. Even some old school camcorders. People love that almost vintage look of a video.
Wow. Y'all got them camcorders?
Yeah.
Where them cams at? Where them cams at?
So use
All
everything,
right.
and sometimes use it all at once. And you never know what magic you can create with just almost nothing.
All right, so no excuses, guys. This is really, really good. Again, if you are in the barber and beauty industry, you are, this is what we're here for. We're here to help you out, and you can do so much more. Please go check out Yate. Yate is right here on YouTube as well. She had a barber on her show on Sunday. Please go watch it, because this young lady was doing some of the things that Vera was recommending. She does like makeup, and she went to school to learn how to do, I think she said it was called FX. I believe that's what she says. But go check out Yate video, YouTube, and she had a young lady on there, and she gave up the grapes about how you can do the special effects, but I think she called it FX. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, FX is just short for effects.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. All right. Okay. So here's the last clip right here. Now, this one is some more secrets revealed. And the reason why I wanted to put two up is because I think when people think about, like what they can or can't do, they kind of get boxed in. Like, I got all the three things that he said, I'm making those mistakes now. So I can't. So we're just going to expound on that just a little bit more, because it's some help out here for us.
Networking matters more than talent at first. The film industry runs off relationships. You got the best reel in the world, but if no one knows you or trusts you, they're not going to hire you. Go to film festivals, workshops, and networking events. Be approachable, humble, and build relationships. People hire those they like working with, not always those that are just talented. Number 2, you'll spend more time hustling than actually making films. Let me explain. While movies make filmmaking look glamorous, truth is you'll spend more time emailing, cold calling, and updating your portfolio than actually being on set. A tip for this is treat the hustle as part of your job. Take time every week to pitch yourself, find gigs, and networking. Be patient. Momentum takes time. Number 3, early on, you'll probably work for free, or at least really cheap. But choose projects that offer great value, whether that's something that's going to be good for your reel or connecting with industry pros. But set limits for yourself. Shit, you don't want to work free forever. Number 4, the film industry is feast or famine. 1 month you're swamped with work, the next you're hustling to pay rent. Unpredictability is normal, even for veterans. So make sure you save during your busy times and diversify your skills. Learn editing, color grading, anything to make yourself more valuable for when you first start out. And number 5, rejection is part of the game. Whether it's a script, a pitch, or a job, rejection happens to everyone, even to the biggest names in the industry. So here's a tip that usually takes a while for people.
All right. So he kicked the ballistics. The 3 things that's jumped out to me was film festivals, and he kept saying networking, and to diversify, which is what we're saying to people in our industry. You have Absolutely. To diversify your talents. No comment. But let's talk about.
But she was good at it. But she was good at it.
It was
it stretches different parts of your brain that you don't exercise a lot, and the part of the brain I think that filmmaking really taps into, it is the part of your brain that needs to have something in the space when there's nothing in the space. Let's just say, for example, let's say you're so used to knowing a lot, like somebody we know. And when you don't know, what does your brain do? It either panics, it freezes, or it may start walking back. They do your brain has a constructive destructive mechanism, right? You're going to start out, and then every second you walk yourself back and say, but she was very good at it once the ball got rolling, because we reinforced, especially when you want to talk about an era piece like you mentioned, Vera. You do know what to do. You're just not used to being assertive about it. You do know, and she did. You were fabulous, Kilo.
Yeah, she kept saying that. I was calling her kind of motherfucker pluckers, but anywho, because it was challenging, like you're saying, that you have to be a people person in a different kind of a way, because I'm used to being a cosmetologist, and that's a different people person skills. Like, I went to some film festivals, and I was floored at how much support that people were giving me. I was like, y'all know I am not Spike Lee, right? So talk about those film festivals, and I gotta fight, I don't have that much money, and why those types of things are important. Even if you can't fly, you do have them locally. So talk about film festivals, because he felt that was really important, even if you don't have your film out just yet.
Right. That circles back to networking. You're already around like-minded individuals, so you already have something in common. So that's already an icebreaker. Oh, what did you think about this film? Versus, hi, my name is. No, what did you think about this film? Oh, did you like this? Do you like that? Let's talk about it. Okay, these are my viewpoints. What are yours? Oh, those are your viewpoints. Okay, maybe we can collaborate on a like-minded narrative together. And that's how movies are really made.
Wow. Yeah, because I couldn't believe, like, I was just meeting people. I was like, oh my God. And then when I went to California and I had, when you come in with the people, they think you important. And I was getting no free drinks. I was getting all that VIP. I was like, oh shoot, now maybe I'm gonna go in.
That goes back to who you know.
Yeah, I mean, people was just like in awe to see a camera, and they thought I was just Kilolo. So yeah, but film festivals are good. Let's move a little bit more as we wrap this up into diversifying. And so this is where people in our industry because that was my thing. Like Cheryl said, you do know, but I was just it was the people who just kept like, why you doing this? And that ain't your lane. And you spreading yourself too thin. And I'm like, it's a fucking documentary. Like, why y'all boiling me out like that? So talk about diversifying and talk to that person like Fiona Curry. She said she didn't know anything, right, Yate? And she had to turn this white lady into a black. I mean, y'all got to go check this. This the real deal. And we can diversify because we have so many talents. So speak to diversifying yourself and how you did it, because I mean, you're a filmmaker now, but you do other stuff. So talk about why it's important to do that, and maybe how, and so on and so forth.
Yes, definitely diversify yourself, as that clip has stated. Don't just stick to one thing. Like me as a director, that's my top thing, but also have equipment out on other sets. I have sound equipment, so I can be the sound mixer on set. Also have what is called the slate or the clapper, so I can do that on a set, which is keep track of the takes, so the editor can know what order the footage and the audio is and all that good stuff. So definitely I'll say this on-set organizer when it comes to filmmaking. So definitely diversify yourself in that. And then also bringing diversity into your film, because you never know who you can reach. It'll broaden your audience. You can talk to that person, and people like seeing themselves on screen. So might as well put them on screen, show them what they can do, what they could possibly do, because you never know how people may see themselves or can't see themselves once they see themselves.
And I'm laughing because we did a casting call. Remember, Cheryl? We did a casting call because, like he said, you gotta have all this stuff written out.
Yeah.
When you say that people like to see themselves on screen, I'm here to tell you, I cannot believe the number of people who showed up and the characters. I was just like, wow. So talk a little bit about how to get people like that casting call as we wrap this up so people can know how to get people to come and be a part of, be it your short film, it could be your YouTube video, your music video, whatever you want. Now that you guys know you can do anything, and talk about that, and then maybe some suggestions of how we can use film in our hair salons, nail salons, all that good stuff.
Okay, when it comes to casting calls, definitely give out a brief description of the characters that you're looking for. What I did for my thesis project is that I made a post of all my main characters and even some extras. So if you fit the description or can actually like the character and get into that role that I need you to be in, come on down and audition. Your talent will speak for itself. And then when it comes to beauticians and barbers in the industry itself, it's definitely important, I feel, as an actress as well, to be comfortable with your hairstyles, because hair is very, very personal. And as an actress, you need to be in the right state of mind before performing. And it starts with hair and makeup. You wake
really?
Up, hair and makeup.
I cannot believe you said that. How many people in the chat agree with what she just said? I thought it was a mental thing. Like you gotta embody Malcolm X and you gotta get into your.
It definitely helps hair and makeup, because once that's together, if you're definitely should be comfortable with your stylist, everything will just be put together. You can embody the character more and you'll give a better performance. But it definitely starts off with the hair and makeup. I had a not so great experience on the set of Judas and the Black Messiah. There were 300 plus extras, including myself. So when it came to hair and makeup, everyone had to be in and out, in and out, in and out. There was a non-Black person who had to curl my hair in a 60s to 70s style, and they burnt my forehead. Yep, right before camera time. And it wasn't terrible, but it still happened. And I believe I walked into that situation already not being comfortable with a stylist who wasn't Black trying to style my hair in a period piece. So since that was the beginning of the day, it almost put a damper on everything. But luckily, I had a bang. I could rock it. No one saw it. I got my little close-up. It didn't make the movie, but next time it will. And it really just starts off with your stylist, because they're the first ones to really greet and touch you before you perform.
Wow. Who knew? Now I had like a little bit on what was the Why Do Fools Fall in Love? I had a cousin who was in California, and they, was like, we can get you on the set, we can do this, we can do that. First of all, the hours of being on the set was do it again, Cheryl.
Unreal.
Can you say it one more time? I knew at that this will not. Now it was just let's get you in, and then see how my hair is like right here, right? See, this piece is right here, right? And if they do the acting scene and they move it up to here, and they say come back, and you got to try to remember where this is, right? So I just wanted to say, it was hey. They don't even want you to say nothing. Just put the piece back and shut up. I was like, so talk about that just a little bit more, because people may want to work, because hairstylists, I was just like, this ain't no hair salon, y'all. You will be in there, and that excuse me, that is me up. Okay. I said, I can't even. You are not in a hair salon. So I had to put that piece
exactly where it was. That's a part of continuity. And depending on how a film is shot, you definitely want to have everything in place, because you never know when you might see one scene, go back to this scene, then right back to this scene, and it looks a little different. But in the film, it all happens in about 3 seconds. Right. So that is actually numerous jobs in itself. There's a script supervisor. They have to make sure that everything is in place the exact same way. So usually people will take photos on set to see how everything is, and if changes do happen, make sure you note what changes happen and when and how much. Everything has to be to the T, to the detail, and everything when it comes to film production. So you have the person looking out for that. You have the actual hairstylist running in on set with their kits, their hair, their hair combs, their spray, everything get them touched up, even in between takes. Let's say it's a hot, steamy interior scene. And each take, our hair fluffs up when you taught me this, Ladosha, it reacts to our environment. So my hair could be looking flat 1 second, 3 seconds later, boom, puff. We need that stylist on set. Whoop, get me right back here like nothing ever happened. And then it could fluff up and do whatever it wants to do. So that is how people keep control of a set and maintain the timeline of everything. It could have been 7 hours you did this take, but in the film it's 7 seconds.
Wow. And that, I'm just speaking for myself, that blew me out the water. They was like we not trying to hear nothing you have to say. Get that hair back, and then you got to move. I mean, you got to be in and out really, 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 really quick. So that was definitely an eye opener for me. Of course, I didn't stick around, but anywho, so Esther says she did a monologue back in college for A Raisin in the Sun, and as soon as she put the headscarf on, she became the character. So I get it now that you put it that way, because I thought it would be something a little bit different, and maybe that's why I think it's Ted Gibson who pushed for the hair and makeup people to actually be able to get an Oscar for their roles in the movies, because I'm just going to be honest, I didn't know it was that vital. Okay. So is there anything you want to add, something that we should know a little bit? Now, when you get ready to do that film, I want to put some money in. I believe in you, Vera, now that I know I can get that executive behind my name.
I'll be getting that GoFundMe up sometime in the fall.
All right. And we will be helping you push that back here. We'll have you back on. I mean, if it's
are you volunteering for the hair?
I'm going to volunteer for her project. Yes, for the period piece. I will. She can come. Count us in. But for her other project,
remember that.
I am. I'm gonna do my promise. I'm gonna shut up and just do what I'm told, because you know how I be. But no, we want you to be able to get some some support, some financial support. And if I am on my way to Africa, we'll do it before I go, so that you can get, because y'all gonna give to me and y'all gonna give to her. Notice how I said that. Okay.
I got one question. What is your thoughts on a hair and beauty film festival? What do you think about it?
Hair and beauty film festival can be very creative. It could definitely be period piece driven. So hairstyles from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, 2010s, and then to modern day. We could definitely see the
future.
It could definitely be a learning situation. So I agree. I would definitely be interested in something like that. Yes.
Sure, always get something started. You see that, Frida? Weekend, y'all see how she did? They like set it up. Come on, they ready to throw their money at you.
That's why I love my young people, baby. That's why I love my young people.
I do. Young people is where it's at, and so people are like, they ready to throw some money at you, girl. They like, you ain't got to show no skin. We all in. Hear that? You ain't got to show no skin. We's all in. We're going to support Vera. And that's really, wow, Vera, that's really nice. But you do have our support. I want to thank you so much for helping Cheryl and I, and of course, all of my fellow licensed professionals and natural hairstylists in the industry. We appreciate the advice that you've given us of how we can, new word, guys, diversify our talents. Also, don't forget to join us the last Sunday. We're going to be at Major League Barbershop. We'll talk about this a little bit more. Vera, if you're out and about, stop by so we can introduce you and people can know who you are and what you're trying to do, because she said networking. We're going to be back next week, and we're going to have Mr. Michael from American Girl. All right, he's going to be in talking a little bit more, taking it to the next level. Check him out on Instagram, and he's doing a documentary on the Jerry Curl. So this is ought to be pretty good. Then on Monday, we're going to have the illustrious, there she is, Savannah, the shear master. She's going to be talking about how to vet that professional. Okay, so this is what's going down right here on America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. This is how we do it. Vera, thank you so very much. And to everybody in the chat who showed Vera some love and y'all committed to giving this girl some money. Look at her. She like, go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money. All right. So look at this.
It would be cool to have a school dedicated to teaching styles to
Yeah, education.
I totally freaking agree. Read that out loud. Lola.
Okay. It would be cool to have a school dedicated to teaching stylists to create period styles for film. They do have something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they have something like that, mostly in California and New York, not in Cleveland. But that would definitely be very helpful. So thank you so much, Esther, Frida, everybody in the chat.
Cosmetology school, don't you think?
They should do it in cosmetology school. You would. I know in other countries they do.
Magazine, because that's where I usually mostly work in, fashion and magazines, but they should be teaching it. Absolutely.
They should. Well, we're doing our part. So Vera, at the end of the day, our virtual co-host, Miss Wike, says, thank you so much for coming through and sharing your knowledge and experience with us. You are amazing, Vera. Wishing you the best in your career. And we appreciate you. And don't forget, on your way out, if you have not, please hit that thumbs up button. We have 3,000 people we need to get to for us to reach our goal. The numbers go up, then they go down, but you guys can help us keep it all the way up to get 3,000 subscribers. Sorry. And in the meantime, we'll see you guys back here on Monday. And what we say, we're signing out, right, Cheryl? Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. And don't forget, please, right now, you got to do it. You got to go over to Arev Studios, LLC, right here on YouTube. And she should see her numbers go up today. And don't forget, when you watch her films, hit the thumbs up. This is how we can support Miss Vera until we put that money in her bank account. All right. Okay. Have a good night, Vera. Thank you so very much, Cheryl. Everybody else in the chat, we love y'all. LB, bring my baloney and quit messing around, girl. LB. All right, Frida. See y'all later. Good night, Vera. We love you, babe.
Until next time.
All right. Until next time.
Welcome to Planet Pluto.